Hey there, today is Thursday, the 30th of July, 2020. Always on Thursdays, the latest unemployment numbers came out and they were high again at 1.4 million people losing their jobs last week. Now we're at almost like an all-time high of maybe 50 million people. Also, GDP numbers came out last quarter ending June 30th. Down 9.6%. Average that out over a 1-year period, and we are down 32.6%. Let's hope it improves because the GDP numbers have not been that low since the Great Depression. I think they've only been tracking it since for like the past 70 years, and they've never been that low. I think a leading reason for the GDP is travel. Travel is down tremendously. People are not getting on airplanes. Those aluminum tubes in the sky, they're just not flying. They are just parked all around the world. And the bigger the plane, the more they're parked. People are flying these small planes because with very few people on board, it doesn't make any sense to fly a big plane. Hotels, car rentals, entertainment, amusement parks, anything like that. People are just not spending the way they used to. However, the Fed is injecting thousands of, or billions, trillions of dollars into the government to increase spending. I guess Apple, Facebook, Google, Amazon have seen their numbers skyrocket in the way of spending. People are buying online and people are shopping, but not as an aggregate all around that's needed. I mean, we need people in amusement parks and movie theaters and plays in Broadway and restaurants and, entertainment and travel and sightseeing. And, that's when they spend money, and there's none of that going on. So that's why it's down really big. I mean, scary. It's scary. The number, the decrease. Yeah, the price of gold over $2,000 today. Institutional buyers, maybe? I don't know. They don't pay that dividend, but something is driving that price up because it is up. The price of silver, too. Up. If you own it, hold it. I think it's going higher. What else is going on with this HEALS stimulus going on? So I guess another $1,200 is going out to each family. I did hear Trump say, oh no, he cares about the people and he wants more to go out. But I don't think it's going to move from that $1,200. So it's $1,200 for every adult. Anybody who's a dependent is going to get $500. It's going to go to the parents of the dependent. I guess they want to make sure that people have some food on their table, and they want to make sure that they do have money, and it's also money to spend. They want us to go out and spend it. They want us to book a flight or go on a trip or inject it into the economy somehow. I think most people are saving it, or they're using it to pay their rent. Or maybe some people are buying some gold with it if they can afford to. It's all very interesting. I know also that the HEALS has a lot of money to small businesses, a lot of money. It's EIDL and it's PPP, and they want to make sure that those small businesses are surviving and that they're keeping their people employed and that they don't, tip over. I mean, there's a lot of zombie small companies out there that are on the brink. I don't think they would have been on the brink too much if they hadn't had debt to begin with, but a lot of small businesses start with debt in the anticipation that they can pay it off over time, but that debt never seems to correlate or decline at all. So I think when you anticipate people who have lost their businesses, I mean, the government keeps shutting down, and in states with a high virus load, people aren't going out. They saw an uptick when the restaurants started opening in June. Everyone went, out to eat. Same with hair salons and nail salons. Initially, everybody wanted to get out of the house. They went, they got their hair cut, they got their nails done, and it's kind of leveled off since then. So it's nothing like what it used to be. In the HEALS bill, there is no allocation for state revenue, and that really concerns me. And this whole thing concerns me. I don't know where I stand on. I'm kind of in the middle. I'm not right, I'm not left. I'm looking at it from an independent voice, and you just can't click a button and create money. And the debt that's being incurred, but yet it's needed. So we're stuck between this rock and a hard place. But they are going to create it, and they do have to. I don't know if they have to at the same levels that they did initially, and I think maybe they're going to have to get people off the dependency, which is the hardest part. So states are going to need help in a big way. I was listening to NPR yesterday, and they were talking to a woman who ran a daycare center, and they run their budgets and their capacity at 100%. And all their, employees and rent and all their costs are based on having a full childcare center. And since the pandemic, they have not gotten up to that. They reopened, and as excited as they were, they had to spend $24,000 in getting it virus proof. They had to do a few things to get it up to snuff and buy plastic barriers and Lucite and, put sinks in or whatever they had to do, and get PPE and hand sanitizer at a huge cost to them. And now they only have 33% of their customers, of the kids that are there, and they are losing money hand over fist. And as I was listening to this, it reminded me of our little school in Tanzania. As you know, I told you many times, I have a nonprofit that I run. We have this school there. I have been trying for a long time to get it sustainable. And I don't know if the people don't understand there or the staff. They just are reliant on, the USA, the Tanzania School Foundation, United States, to just inject all the money into it to keep it sustainable. And I kept telling them, this is not sustainable. This is not sustainable. The parents have to pay some school fees. We can't be paying or signing contracts for employees. That's not where we're at. We give them a budget, and they have to live within that budget. And, Tanzania closed their schools for 3 months, and now they opened, and the government mandated that we opened, but nobody has money to pay school fees. And they're saying, well, since we were closed in April, May, and June, that we have to use some money. But the reality is, in our schools, some people haven't even paid for March yet, let alone April, May, and June. And even in April, May, and June, we were still paying staff, and we were still giving out homework that the parents had to come and collect every week. So we were working, and I don't understand why. I don't know, but this whole thing is going to come either crashing down. I mean, I do believe that education is important and it's a way out of poverty, but it's not going to work with our small amount of resources here in the United States. I mean, let's face it, I am not CARE International, and I am not, HIFA International or Oxfam or the USAID. I mean, we run a small nonprofit, all volunteer staff in the United States. So I have a lot of decisions. So anyway, when I was listening to this woman at NPR, it correlated very much to what I'm going through on the other side of, the world. Anyway, that's it for me. If you have that gold and silver, hold on to it. If you can, with your stimulus, buy some more. I think you're going to need it. I think the price is going to go up to $5,000. And let's hope that, over the weekend or in the next few days, we hear some funding for the states, because each state is the largest employer in that state. So without, funding the police, the firemen, the education, and, construction and administration and all that stuff, I don't know I don't know. We're going to be in for some serious shit, folks. All right. Keep the faith. If you see anything that in your community, or you want to share anything, you'd like me to talk about anything, let me know. Have a good day.